Good morning. Happy Friday. My name is Anthony Special. For those of you who don't know me, with Hawkeye Traders and Big Energy Profits. I hope everyone had a great week and is looking forward to their weekend. Yesterday we talked about a great transpiring trade on the Nasdaq. Today we're going to talk about why you don't always need to, why knowing when it not to trade is just as valuable as knowing when it is to trade. So let's jump into that. But before we do that, of course, I just need to share with you our disclaimer. Anything I share with you today is for informational and educational purposes only. Please do not take anything as financial advice because it is certainly not. So like I said, yesterday we looked at the Nasdaq. I showed you a great trade, and I believe I even told you that I had suspected that the price yesterday was going to reach 11,503. We take a look over here on my hourly chart. This is the line here in between the sessions. And where did price come to where it stalled yesterday? 11, roughly 503 within a few ticks. Guys, that's the power of harnessing the right tools to understand when, where, and how the market's going to react. I knew yesterday that the highest probability, the most conservative place for the market to top out was right there at 11,503. So that's yesterday. Yesterday happened already. We made a little bit of money. I showed you how that trade transpired, how I would have managed it yesterday, and it was just a fantastic opportunity. Now, I want to talk about today because that's in the past, and now we need to talk about, what went on yesterday. Now, this is 2 days ago. Everything transpired on Wednesday. We're taking a look at Thursday morning. You need to understand what's happening in the market as it's transpiring. That's the power of our tools. So this is Thursday morning now. I'm sitting at my computer thinking I'm going to day trade the Nasdaq. Now, what gets me in or keeps me out of this market? And that's what we're going to talk about. So first, like yesterday, we start all the way over here. So the KISS has banged out again. I mean, we're definitely working our way into a long day. The underlying efforts of the market for Thursday morning were to go to the long side. All right, so we know we're not taking any short positions today. That's fine. Perfect. We know we're looking at one direction. Then I take a look up here at my 240 zones. Now, why am I looking at my zones? I'm looking for targets. This, like I had shared with you on Wednesday, was a cluster, and it's another cluster today for Thursday, for Thursday morning, which was yesterday morning. So when I see this, I go, all right, I'm not going to look for targets there. I'm going to go down to my 120 chart and my 60-minute chart. So now I'm looking for opportunities to get long in this market Thursday morning. And if I just take a peek down here at my 120, it certainly doesn't look like the cluster of my 240, but I see that I have supply and demand zones stacked one on top of another. So what does that tell me? It tells me a couple things. It tells me that the likeliness is that there is going to be a fight between the bulls and the bears today to find direction. I don't want to be part of the fight. I want to be part of the clear-cut move that has the highest probability of me being profitable. Like yesterday, we saw this large gap on this chart, and on this chart there was also a large gap. Those gaps were was our opportunity for our move to pay us. That gap here doesn't exist. So now I go down to my 60-minute, and I'm looking at this. So there's some confluence here on these zones, supply and demand zones. This is spread out a little bit further. Now, I really prefer, since I'm looking at 3 different zone time frames, to have at least 2 that make sense. It stacks the odds greater in my favor. If I just say, well, I'm only going to pick this one and ignore these 2, I'm ignoring the fact this is a cluster. We're discounting that because we know anything that looks like this is just too messy to use. This is not too messy. This tells me there's buyers stacked here and there's sellers stacked here. If that's the case, the likeliness is the potential to have a risk-reward tolerance that makes sense is not going to happen during this trading session. So I know that today I am not going to trade the Nasdaq. This was Thursday morning. I sat down, I opened this up, and very quickly I realized that the opportunity to have a greater reward than what I was going to have to risk on an entry just really didn't exist. I mean, you can see the pre-market move here. You had some congestion, it broke, and just as it broke, it failed again. I don't want to trade that. There's not enough opportunity here. Even here, by the time this transpires, you're in around here, you're really not making, your risk reward is not great enough. I like my targets to be more than 3 ATRs away from my entry. This way, A, there's a little bit of breathing room, and B, the likeliness is I'm going to at least get to ATR 3. If I close above ATR 3, I've now moved my stop to ATR 1. The idea here is to book profit. Even if it's just a little base trade, it's okay. You earned your day's pay. Now, yesterday, we booked all the way out to ATR number 6. That was a tremendous day's trade. It's a tremendous day's pay. You don't even need to trade today because you made so much money yesterday. But it's okay. The idea here, the objective here is to use the toolbox to know when there is opportunity to trade and when there is opportunity to not trade. You're better off not trading than looking to force something. Now, yesterday morning on Thursday, I'm scanning the markets. I'm looking for a great setup. I didn't find it in the Nasdaq. I didn't find it in the S&P. I didn't find it in the Dow. I didn't find it in oil. I didn't find it in gold. I didn't find it in the dollar index. I scanned a bunch of stocks. The market was it's tight right now. Thursday morning, the market was tight. There was no opportunity for me to sit there and print myself a paycheck. So it's better for me to not risk taking a loss when I clearly can see the market is not going to work in my favor today. So what do? I close the computer and I go live my life. Because if there's no opportunity that the cards are stacked in my favor to win, there's no need to trade. Just because you're a day trader or a swing trader or a position trader, whatever style trading you are, knowing when not to trade is just as valuable as knowing when to trade. Thursday morning did not present a great opportunity to trade. Recognizing that told me immediately that there was no purpose to sit in front of the computer. None whatsoever. There was nothing that was going to transpire that wasn't going to be a shot of luck. And I don't trade on luck. I trade on fact. I trade on technicals. I trade on what my Hawkeye tools tell me to trade on. So guys, the reason I want to show you days that are not meant to be traded is because you need to recognize them too. You need to recognize opportunity. You need to recognize risk. And with those two things, if you know what they're, when they present themselves, you will become a better trader. Significantly. Knowing when to sit on the sidelines is so important because there's not always an opportunity. The idea is to live to trade another day. So when the next opportunity does present itself, you're prepared to take advantage of it. All right? So I want you to see what I see. I want you to have a quick explanation of how I roll through this to identify if there's anything for me to do or not do. This tells me I'm looking for a long, the kiss. The 240, a mess. The 120, we're stacked one on top of another. That tells me that this is going to be a sideways day. The 60-minute, they're not too far apart, and you can see, hit it, bounced, hit it, bounced, hit it, bounced. I mean, it's just this. There's no money to be made here. The money was made here yesterday, as I shared with you. So that's the difference. Here you can see, it's just a cluster going sideways. Down, up, down, up. This is not trending. Trending goes from one corner to the other, or this corner to that corner. Here, same thing. This is a sideways mess. This, even on a shorter scale, is just a sideways mess. This is no real trend development here. So I just wanted to point all that out to you because yesterday I showed you a fantastic, picture-perfect way to enter a trade, and today I want to show you the picture-perfect reason not to enter a trade. All right? So guys, I want to talk about today good qualities of a day trader. It's a toll taking difficult task to be proficient in this industry. This is not a hobby. This is every bit of a job, and more than a job. It's actually you're your own business. You are the boss, the finance guy. You're the employee. You are start to finish the entire corporation in one person. You need to stay motivated. You need to be decisive. Why decisive? When the opportunity's there, we got to be ready to go. When the opportunity's not there, we got to be prepared to stand back. And that comes with being disciplined. You got to know when to jump in and when not to. You have to have interest and enthusiasm because you want to stay interested in the business, the job that you're doing. You need to be part of that. You better be familiar with every tool that's in your toolbox. You better be familiar with your platform, how it works, the system, the entries, the exits, the orders. These are all things you need to know. You need to know how to take our Hawkeye tools, put them on your platform, and then make money with them. You must be able to do all that. You must be open to the idea of learning. You must be open to the idea of making a mistake and learning from it. You must be aware of everything that's going on. Like I just showed you in the previous screen. Look at how aware I am of the big picture of what's happening in the market. Being aware of all that tells me when to get in and when to stay out and sit on the sidelines. Guys, yesterday I ended up playing golf because there was nothing to do. Nothing to do in the market. You got to have financial backup. And what that means is you got to be able to live to trade another day. You got to know when to trade, when not to trade, but you got to always know that no matter what happens today, I have enough financial support and backup to trade again tomorrow. And you have to have a great support network. Guys, that's something we are striving our hardest to come full circle here at Hawkeye Traders. I'm doing these videos and sending them out to you every morning to reinforce this. You have access to the inner circle in our Skype room. Use it. Communicate with me. Communicate with all the other traders. Communicate with Randy. Communicate with all of our staff members. Communicate amongst each other. Make sure Wednesday mornings you're definitely getting in on the training. If there's topics you want to cover specifically, shoot me a Skype, shoot me an email. I will make sure I cover the topics. I would love to let our Hawkeye members lead the direction in which the training is built upon. My goal is to serve you. And the better I serve you, the stronger your support network becomes. The better trader you become. And that is my ultimate goal for you. To give you the tools you need, mentally, emotionally, methodology, the indicators, the whole full circle, for you to have the very best understanding of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you're going to accomplish it. All right, guys, that's what I wanted to share with you. You guys always know if you want to get involved with me at Big Energy Profits, you're welcome to. You can follow my annual 6-figure a year trading strategy. We've been issuing some fantastic daily and weekly trade ideas while the oil market has been somewhat range bound. My subscribers have had fantastic opportunities to extract some intraday or intra-week moves, while we're still waiting for our next big alert to be triggered. So just head on over to Big Energy Profits. You can watch a recorded version of the webinar if you haven't seen it yet, and decide for yourself if it's something you'd like to get involved in. I would love to have you, as long as it's a perfect fit for you. All right? Guys, it's Friday. I'll wrap it up. Have a great weekend. I hope you had a great week. This weekend, take some time for yourself. Do something that fulfills you internally. Step away from the computer. Step away from the office. Step away from the charts. There's so much more to life, and I want you to enjoy all of that. If you need us, always feel free to call us, visit us at the website, or send us an email. If you are working with us and you're already with Hawkeye Traders, please make sure you're taking full advantage of everything we have to offer. We are working really, really hard around the clock to deliver the very best of what we can bring to the table for you. If you're not involved with us yet and you're not prepared to get started right away, but you want to learn more, that's great. Click the link below. You can watch the V-Swarm webinar with my buddy Dustin. He's going to give you full insight on how we use volume to accurately predict the moves in the market. So you'll get a more full circle vision of the things that I show you every single day. With that, guys, have a great weekend. Have a peaceful weekend. Have a humble weekend. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your family. Enjoy the outdoors. Whatever you do to bring, gratitude in your life, go out and do it. All right? Take care, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.